Hej då Martin.
You want me to start? Okay, hi guys, and thank you for this great initiative. My name is Albin Ponot, and I'm the founder of a project called Local Food Nodes that we've been working with for about 4.5 years. And I would like you to introduce this project, how it started, how it came about, how it works, and actually also why we started this project. Me, myself, I'm originally a trained documentary filmmaker, and I'm also having a small scale kind of a hobby farm where I live with my wife and kids. A few years ago, there was an application to set up a social initiative around local food based on the CSA phenomena here in Sweden. CSA was not that common then, but there was a very interesting phenomena, an economic model, financial model to see how to connect local food producers to end consumer without any middleman. So what I did was I was creating workshops all around Sweden, just listening in how to connect local food producers to end consumers, what the needs were and how they would like to interact and work together. And based on this knowledge, we started to sketch on a prototype in how to create a model where you can pre-order local food and meet up a physical location and then exchange money for produce without anyone interfering or any third party taking a share of the revenue stream. That's when we created this project called Bygdens Saluhall. We set it up in Skåne in the village of Röstång in the south of Sweden as a first pilot test in the summer of 2016. And what we actually did was we created a very basic website. I'm not a coder myself, so it was very, very basic. Where we made it available for local food producers to enter their products. And the consumer could also enter the same web page and see what date the delivery will be held and what place and time. And they could put the pre-orders and they will go an email straight to the producer and the same email goes to the end consumer. And then you meet up. And we get pretty much interaction and media, and they were very much interested around this project that we were starting in our local village, not only in Sweden, but also in other countries, actually. That were very interested in setting up local food markets. And then we realized that this is not interesting for just us in Sweden, our village. So we started to make sketches about creating a digital platform, an open source platform that would be open for anyone in the world to enter content, set up nodes within their local communities that fulfilled their needs. And at the same time, we actually killed the concept of Bygdens Saluhall, where we at first were helping local communities setting up those nodes, because there was a similar phenomena coming from Finland called the Record Rings that is doing basically the same thing, but they're using the Facebook platform instead. Or not instead, but we are creating more of a administration tools to set up the sales and administrate your sales and so on. And so we killed the concept of Bygdens Saluhall and just was focused on creating the digital tool and renamed it to Local Food Nodes, just to brand it with a name that is actually intuitive. You understand what it's all about, and it's not a concept, it's not a brand or anything, it's just a basic website where you can set up a food node anywhere in the world. And after that, pretty many people were starting to use the tool, setting up nodes all around Sweden. Many of the Record Ring did use it as well. And many producers were connecting to be able to sell products without any revenue loss, because this platform is for free for the local producers. And we are only donation based. So it's an open source. We're doing it in our spare time, put in as much time after we are able. And since we've been creating the platform, I think we have about 7,000-8,000 downloads or new members, and about 25% of them are donating to use this service. And for about 2 years ago, I think we decided to also create a mobile app to go with it, a strictly consumer mobile app. So you very easily can find the node, you can find the products, you can find the dates, and then you can make a pre-order and meet up. And we noticed that when creating this mobile app called Local Food App, of course, we have had much more users. So we decided actually to take this was only in Sweden then. So we decided to start to take this worldwide. So we've been working for 2 years to make it ready to be set up anywhere in the world when it comes to currency, when it comes to language, and so on. And while doing this, we also created a Kickstarter campaign to finance the next version of the mobile app. And in the meantime, we also was started to working on the 2.0 of the platform because we were running the first platform for 2.5 years. And just a month ago, we released the next version of the platform. And when we did that, there was so much rebuild. So the app stopped to work. So the app is still down for a couple of more weeks, I think, before we can get it up again. And I will, in a few minutes, show you a little bit of the new website, how it works, and so on. So we did this Kickstarter campaign to raise some finance to create the next version, and we succeeded. And hopefully, we will start to work with better implementations of the mobile app to release it somewhere this summer. We will open it before that, but then we will create new features on the web on the mobile app. And the reason why we did this, because we feel there is a need to get more local when it comes to what you eat and how you eat. And there are needs for local food producers to meet the markets without anyone taking money in between. So that's what we was focusing on when starting this. This also means we're not creating a business for ourselves. We're creating a common platform for anyone to use, anyone to contribute to, and there is no possibilities for us to sell anything because it's locked up in a co-op, and it's also not possible for anyone to take out more than hopefully salary in the future. You can't take any profit out of it. So if this platform will gain more profit than it needs to be run, it will be reinvested in project that is benefiting for local food development. And that also means you as a donating member also have a say in how your donation will be used eventually. So Local Food Nodes will be some kind of a crowdfunding platform where you could decide if you, let's say, donate 20 euros, you can decide, I would like to put 5 euros to this local project, I would like to donate 5 euros to this local project, and so on. So this will also be a tool for us to raise means to create something better when it comes to local food, restoring our soil, and so on. This is our mission and goal with this project. So far, we've only been 4 people working with it. At the moment, we are 3 working actively with it, and we're doing it whenever we find the time. I'm doing it more or less full time since we started. And I would just like to show you a little bit how the platform looks like. It's called localfoodnodes.org, and there is a mobile app called Local Food App, both on Google Play and on App Store. It's down at the moment, but it will soon be opening up. But for now, we'll share my screen just to show a little bit what it's all about. So here is the brand new Local Food Nodes website. This is a landing page, and you see here up in the upper, you see here the mobile app is not there at the moment. And this is all about desire to make full local again. And here you can search for nodes, producers, or produce. Together we can change the way we eat. We also have metrics here about how many donations we have had, what the average donation is, how many money has circulated on the platform, how many orders have been placed, and so on. Maybe you can also read about our donations. And you can find on a map all the nodes that are situated in the world, mainly in Sweden, but it's actually growing pretty fast in the US at the moment. There are people in the Twin Cities area, Minneapolis, St. Paul, that is now really active in starting to make this evolve in the US. So we have pretty many nodes in the US, and there are also nodes about to start in Europe, South Africa, Australia, and so on. And these are community nodes. So we don't start those, we don't run them, and we don't decide how they should be run. We're creating a digital tool for people to set up a community drop-off spot and connect local food producers to start to interact with the local community. So this also means there's no payment on the website when you order your food. All those payments you are doing straight with the producers. We don't see those orders, and we don't interact with them at all. So this is just a tool to bridge you guys to get access to local food. And you can also filter on producers nodes and so on. You can see the producers, and it's more, every producer get their own web store more or less, and you can decide, put on your produce there, and you can, when you order, you can see those produces connected to this kind of delivery location, and then you can say, I would like to order this one, and I can pick them up at this specific location that it's suitable for me as a consumer. It's free to create an account. We have a 100% transparent financial model, so you can see our economics each and every year, how many donations has been made, what we're using the money for. You can read more about it, and you can also see all the transactions made on local food nodes since we started since 2017, and filter on that. So because all of this is about building trust, because if we want local food producers to own 100% of the revenue stream, we will also like to show we are using the money that comes into this project through donations. And you can read more about membership and about the project and so on. And when you account is for free, you get to your personal dashboard. My name is Albin, and you see how many attended pickups I've been to and so on, and all the nodes that I am connected to as a consumer. And I can connect to even more through this map. And I can see upcoming pickups and pickup have attended before. And I can also switch to my producer account. And if you don't have a producer account, you can just create the producer account for free. Or you can create many if you want to. It's very easy. You just fill in the form, name, describe it, what currency, VAT number, payment information, social links, upload images. And if I click save, I can choose sales channels. Here, if I want to use some of the nodes that anyone can create. This is not we creating the nodes. Anyone can create the node anywhere. Just put the map, dot on the map. And we have this way called farm delivery that we will open pretty soon. You can also go pick up straight from the farm. And home delivery is something we are working with pretty soon. And it's very relevant for the time we're living now with the corona situation and so on, to make it available for people to get home delivery. So that's something we're looking into as well, pretty now. When it comes to creating nodes, it's very easy as well. You just go to node administration, you create a node. You have to accept the terms that local food nodes, the platform is not the selling part, you need the local permissions and so on. And when hitting the accept button, you come to, you can see one of the nodes that I have started here in Västånga. You have this form, you name it, the email address, the physical address, you describe it, upload pictures. You can have a communication link for producers, and you can have a communication link for consumers and producers. It could be Facebook or Slack or wherever you like to communicate through. And when the node is set up, you can hide from the map, or you can just let it be live. And then you as a producer can connect to any node that you would like to sell to. So if you find all the nodes on the map here, like to join this node in Mavis Farm, now a part of that node, and I have the possibility to deliver to that node as a producer. And when you have done this, you see all my products here in the right column. You can also create products as you wish, and then you can connect any product to any node and to any date that is suitable for you as a producer. So when the consumer enters the mobile app or the website, the node that they are interested in, I should just move this window a little bit. Here, we have in our, there we go. So this is the web store. Now we have lamb boxes, and you can filter on dates. That is automatically created when you're creating the nodes. You set the date. We will start at this date. We will have every Wednesday, every second Wednesday, or whatever date that is suitable for you. Then it automatically will be created on the platform. And then you as a producer could connect to any of those dates. And when you enter, this is the consumer view. When you enter a node, you can see the product. You can click on it and you can read about it, who the producer are, what other products the producer is holding, the price. This is in Sweden, of course, because I'm situated in Sweden. And then you can place your orders by, if it's have variants, this says in Sweden, half a box weighing 8 kilos or a full box weighing 16 kilos. And then I would like to have it on this day. Okay, I will have 2 of those. And there you see price per kilo. The deadline is how many days before the delivery day that you need to have the order as a producer. You can also write the message straight to the producer that it will be added on the mail that you receive as a producer from the consumer. Then you add to cart, and then I just click my cart, and then I click see the sum here, and I can just tell her how many I would like to. And when it comes to, I should just show you the produce products once again. You have a list of all your products, and when you choose a location, you also see all the days are generated here that is available on that specific delivery location. You choose a date, and you see all your product list, and you take, okay, I'll bring this one. Veggie box, and I'll bring the duck. So this makes, I was a little bit too faster, yeah. So those are the products I made available for this specific delivery day, and I can also tailor the price and the deadline for each individual delivery location. So if I have a set price here for the lamb box, 159 Swedish crowns, I can say, at this specific day, I would like to increase or decrease the price, and I can also decrease and increase the deadline. If there is a stock on the product, this is also something you can choose to set a stock. You can increase or decrease the size. I have 10 veggie box this week. Okay, I have a little bit more veggies this week. Increase and writing 11 instead, and then I can click save. So you can tailor price, stock, and deadline individually for each delivery location or delivery date. And you also could tailor this individual on each. If you click on the name of the products when you're inside your, I think I have a little bit slow connection here. Edit basic info. You can also edit the stock and the rights. If you want to have stock, which is not mandatory. Okay, I would like to have stock on those, and said I have 10. It's recurring, which means it says 11 because I said put 11 before. And if it's recurring, meaning if you have, let's say, egg boxes, and your hens will lay eggs every week. That 10 in stock recurs every week. So every week you have 10 boxes. If you do not enter, it's like, let's say you have a batch of honey jars. You have produced 100 honey jar, and they count down until you have 0. So I should leave the share screen for now and just wrap this up, and then Stellan will enter the discussion to ask some question. And it's also possible for you guys to enter questions somewhere here below in the YouTube conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's
basically
right.
what we're doing is creating a administration and sales tool for all you local food producers that want to sell your produce straight to the end consumer without any revenue. This is a relation building platform. So now I'm stop sharing my screen here.
Great. Thank you very much, Albin, for a very interesting presentation. Yeah, and I must say you have done a fantastic job by developing this tool. I definitely see the impact of it, both on a local scale, but definitely on a global scale, because this is scalable, as you mentioned already from start, that you made it all in an international environment and an open source. Actually, that's my first question concerning the open source. You mentioned that you and some of your close friends or colleagues are working on it. Is it also open for other people to contribute to the code itself?
Yes, it is. The only problem we have is we need to take care of those people so they can be set up in the right way. We are. Yeah. So yeah, that's the plan in the future.
There's a reason.
And we are also working with Trello, and we'll open a public Trello.
Albin, I have a reason why I'm asking the question.
Yes.
The reason to why I'm asking the question is that I also see that what you've developed now for food producers and buyers of food could actually be used for more local businesses. What I'm thinking of most right now is local handicraft and arts. So if someone would develop such an platform, they could actually use the same code, I guess.
Actually, I know that in the US, the guys they're creating the nodes in Minneapolis, St. Paul, they're using the platform to in a wider scope than just food. And it's not up to us to decide how this should be used. So I know I've seen they're actually selling solar cell systems and other stuff. So so I think they are thinking more like local everything.
So it's a local e-commerce solution, actually, what you've developed. And I definitely see how powerful this could be and how meaningful it will also be, because, I mean, if we haven't realized it before, we realize it now, that we have to go back to the basic, to what is actually relevant and also, I would say, reasonable. I mean, shipping food, for instance, all over the world, maybe it's not the best thing to do. So right now you've actually you put a finger on something that is very powerful, and that is how can we get resilience by having a full-scale system for this businesses and commerce.
Yep.
And so I'm very impressed on that. And I was also thinking of, you talked about the app, even if it's not up right now. Can you describe a little bit, because it was quite technical now what you showed us the last maybe 5-10 minutes. The first part was more like a broad spectrum of how you can use it, and then we got into details. But if we would shift the focus to the app, is it more? You said it was more consumer focused. Did I get that right?
It's a consumer tool only today. It's very easily, and we have take away many features from the website. So if you're a producer, you create the content on the website, and everything will be visualized at the mobile app. And there is, I think, only 3 or 4 basic features on the mobile app. It's you search for nodes on the map, you connect to the nodes, and then you can enter them and click on each individual delivery date. And when you do that, it's browsing the products that is available on that date, and then you just click order on the products you would like to order. So it's very smooth and simple and basic in that case. And we would like to develop it a little bit more, that you can follow your favorite producers and so on. But yeah, we're taking it step by step slowly, and
and that's a good strategy, I guess. So what I'm also thinking of is that I guess even in a local food node or a record ring or whatever we call it, you probably get some of the externalities that we even have in the malls and so on. I mean, with food waste and that kind of externalities. Have you thought of how to address that issue?
No, not really, because what we are trying to solve is first accessibility to the local food, make it easy for local food producer, also provoke more people to start producing local food. And the next step for us is to take a look at the logistics, how to get the food not only from the node to home, but maybe from farm to home and so on. So this is the next step. So when it comes to food waste, we are, there are so many other projects working with that thing. So we are not here to solve everything. We more believe in doing things together with other people. So we are putting what we can to the table. And so food and waste, now haven't talked about it that much.
Yeah, but you mentioned earlier that you had you could lower the price on when it came close to the day and so on.
Yeah, that's a feature that you can use as a producer. You can tailor individually each product to each delivery location and occasion, depending on the distance and how much you have and so on. So yeah, that's just a feature you can tweak your product as fits you best as a producer.
Okay, so I maybe would like to put you in contact with people who are working with food waste and solutions for that. And I'm also thinking of when you talked about this. Oh no, it wasn't something you talked about. This is actually something I saw on the screen. It said Grassroot Academy. That was the local food node in Röstånga or something. It wasn't some focus on your presentation, but I got curious. Is it something you want to share with us?
I'm not connected to that specific project. I live in the next village, actually, but I know the people behind it. But that is not something that came. Local Food Nodes is not sprung out of that project.
Okay, but maybe you can put me into contact with those people then.
Yeah, I will.
And, yeah, super.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have more questions directly, but I have some. Again, why I asked this question about the open source code was not because of local food nodes, more if you could local art nodes, maybe. If that is a possibility, it will also be a way of spreading the idea. Local nodes.
Yeah, we've been talking about this and we've been sketching on parallel systems and parallel projects. We've been talking about this could be retooled or reused to set up local tool pools and whatnot, because you have the element.
The sharing economy, more or less.
We've been talking about maybe we should start doing that soon, but at the same time, we don't have muscles to do it because we're just a couple of persons. But we had made some sketches about it, and we realized it was very fun to do it. But when we sit down, no, we have to work on local food nodes first, and then we will see what happens. But there were ideas to create actually a tool pool system, local tool pool system that is basically will work the same. You need to have a calendar and a booking.
Yeah, and you have to change tomatoes to maybe screwdrivers or something like that.
Exactly. So it's not that hard, but it needs to be done, and we are don't have the power hours to do it at the moment.
Yeah, I understand. So if any one of you who are watching this stream, YouTube stream, or maybe listening to the web radio, please contact either the Best for the World team or Albin directly to get a hold of how you can interact and maybe use this fantastic solution for other purposes of local nodes systems. So maybe we should end this session then and say thanks to everyone that listened and watched. And if you want to know more about the program we're scheduled for this weekend, so go directly to bestfolder.world. There is a full schedule, or almost full, and it's still possibilities for people like Albin here to co-create and share ideas and concepts. So thank you very much. Anything else you want to say before we end the show, Albin?
No, thank you very much for having me, and I think you're doing great with this initiative. So thank you very much for doing this for all of us.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.